I gave a lecture there in this city where 4 million people visit every single year. We gathered in the San Pietro Abbey. This is where that lecture was held. And I spoke for 2 hours without any notes and felt that something very magical was happening there at that lecture. Something in almost 40 years of giving public lectures had never happened to me before. This was the culmination of a lifetime of thinking about these ideas and writing about them in many, many books based on spirituality and higher consciousness. When I gave the lecture, something happened to me at the end of that lecture. I did a reading from Nikos Kazantzakis' novel, his sort of fictional representation of the life of St. Francis. And the reading was a story that was told by Kazantzakis of how St. Francis was so terrified of lepers and how he embraced a leper because Christ had told him, you have to learn to love that which you fear and that which you despise, and have no place for anything but love in you. And when you find a leper, to kiss it on the mouth. And this will rid you of your fear. And ultimately he realized that this leper was really Jesus Christ. And as I was reading that story and telling that story, something happened to me. I froze on stage. I couldn't speak. I started sobbing uncontrollably. And everyone in the room, in this beautiful San Pietro Abbey Church that had been built in the 10th century, they all stood up. And everyone just reached their hands out to me. And I reached out my hands to them. There was no applause. There was no there was no formalities like at the end of a talk. It was just as if everyone in the room just understood that something very miraculous was happening in the moment. And I don't know how long it lasted, but it seemed like 3 or 4 minutes where I just could not control the sobbing in a public lecture. It had never happened to me before. And when I left there and went back to the hotel, I laid in my bed and I realized that I was no longer talking about St. Francis, that we had become one. That at the highest levels of awareness, when you are passionate about what it is that you believe and what it is that you live, and you think from that place, that you actually become what it is that you place your attention on. That's the highest level of awareness that there is. And at that moment, I merged myself into the being, into the consciousness of St. Francis. And I felt as if something had taken over my body. And it's on the film of the lecture, and it's probably the most memorable moment that I've ever had in all the years that I've been doing public speaking.